Now we're going to take a look at using an interposing relay or relays between two controllers so that they can crosstalk or talk to each other. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start by identifying this as the first PLC, and we'll identify this as the second PLC. So let's just say the I/O modules, the input and the output are here, and on this one the input and the output are here. Okay, input 1, now about input 2 and 2. So just for fun, let's say this was a 120 volt system, and this one over here was 24 VDC system. Okay, so these would be DC I/O cards, and these would be AC I/O cards. So these can still talk to each other, but you can't directly wire them into each other. And so what we need to do is we need to have this PLC here being capable of talking to the PLC here. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take, I guess, black and white, and this will be plus and minus here. So let's take my voltage here, run it there, and then I got to run my common here. I guess I can pull it like this. Source and sunk those modules. The DC modules are going to need the same. So I'm going to take my voltage here, run it to plus, and then my common run into there. Okay. So let's take care of the items first. A momentary push button on the first controller. So I'm going to put a momentary push button on the first controller, and I guess I'll put it over here. Latches on a light on both controllers. So this unit here is going to have a light, and this unit here is going to have a light. Okay. A momentary push button on the second controller de-energizes the latches. So I need to put a push button over here on this one. Okay. So now I need to run my commons. So this was ground, so this has to be a current loop back to here. And then this was ground, so this has to be a current loop back to here. And then this one here was plus, it was sourced, so it has to be a current loop back to the neutral. And then this one was positive, so it needs to be a current loop back to the negative. Okay, looking pretty good there. So now, how are these going to talk to each other? Well, we're going to talk to each other with the interposing relay. So this one right here is going to have a relay, and we'll call it control relay 1. Okay, and that would be connected. And so when this control relay is turned on, it needs to close a set of contacts that are wired into this PLC's input module. And then when this PLC wants to talk to this one, it's going to turn on a control relay. And the contacts of this one are going to be wired into the unit over here. Okay? So let's see how this works. A momentary push button on the first controller. So here's my start, I guess. There's my start, and the address is my input 1. Is going to turn on as latches on a light. So we'll go ahead and we'll bring on a light. That was my first light there. Okay, I'll put a 1 there and I'll put a 1 here. It's got to stay on. So let's just have the light hold itself. So nothing too fancy so far. When I hit the start here, this turns on the light here. Okay? And so what I'm also going to do is I'm going to have this turned on the control relay. So this light and this unit's control relay come on. And you're saying, well, I turned the control relay on. What is that doing? That's not really doing much. All it's doing is turn on a control relay. But when this control relay comes on, this second PLC gets a signal here on input 2. So I'm going to get a signal here, and it's held here. There's memory on this, so this is going to stay true, and it's going to turn on the second light here. Put a 2 there. Turns on 2L. Because this one's held on, this is going to stay on, and then the light on the second controller is going to come on. Okay? Now it says a momentary push button on the second controller is going to kill it. So what I need to do on this one is I have my stop, as I call that stop, on my second controller. When I hit stop, I need to turn on the second control relay. And this is just momentary, so if I hit stop, this comes on, and if I release stop, this goes off. But if I hit the second control relay, right here, what this does is it does something with these contacts right here. These are going to close. Okay? So if I come up right here, and then I would get a 1 there, and I put my second control relay contacts there, when I push the stop button, the control relay comes on, closing these contacts. I get a 1 in the data table. If I put a 1 in here, this becomes false, and this light goes off, and this control relay goes off, which means that this contact opens, which means the light goes off. So both relays were talking to each other, and between the two of them was a couple of control relays, outputs wired into the outputs, and then the inputs into the opposite module, and vice versa.